Hey folks, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I hope you're doing well. We're back streaming. Reed is nowhere to be seen, so no Reed to get first today, but that does mean that Filio Fish gets first, so congratulations dude. Filio Fish, you do get first today. I have just realised that the software that runs the light in the background, this one, is not running, so I'm just going to turn that on and then give it a test. You might hear the Windows ding. I apologise if you do. Okay, seems like it's not going to ding. Okay, right, let's give that a test. Hey, there we go. Nice. There we go. Cool. Okay, and ZBC, thank you so much for the subscription. Says Happy Thursday, Jake, for 9 months. That is one PT baby for you. Congratulations, dude, and thank you very much for that. Super Hands is here, and so is Frankie1001. Super Hands says not first. It's true. True Blaze is here as well. Alan's here too. It's a good day, everyone. Philly Fish says, but neither was Reed, talking about who came first. So silver linings and all that. V-Rug Dush as well. Good evening, good sir. Well, good afternoon, good sir. Hope you're doing well. And Rob Brums here says, hey Jay, how's the house move stuff going? Oh man, like, it's not, basically. We've had the sale of our house has now fallen through 5 times. And the house we wanted to buy is now off the market, but PT is now in the process of moving. Like, I have the final contract to sign to move premises. More news on that in a week or two once everything's sorted out. So yeah, we're just going to move out that way and then try and sell our house separately and see how it goes, basically. Yeah, we've looked at some of these companies that will just buy your house and then you don't have to go through the hassle of selling it, because it seems like every time we get someone who's interested, that it just falls through the cracks. They then can't get the mortgage, or you know, they lose their job, or their chain falls through, and it's just been a whole roller coaster of negative emotion. So yeah, we'll see, but I might technically be homeless for a little while, just to benefit PT, because that might be what we need to do. But we'll see how it's going. We'll see how it's going. Yeah, like I just don't know. I think we'll be in a much better position if we can sell our house independently of needing to buy another one straight away, so we're not in a chain. We can just go, right, our house is sold, and then once our house is sold, we can just go and find a house to buy, and we can say, right, okay, we're going to buy this house, we're not in a chain, here's the money, here's the mortgage, off we go. That's probably going to be the better route for us ultimately. But it just means that we're moving house, moving business, setting up new premises, trying to find somewhere to put cars.
Tasty.
All at the same time. Rack17, thank you so much for the sub, dude, and thank you for lighting up that pink rocket ship as well. 31 months in a row. That's pretty cool. It's a Wild J. Hi Liam, thanks very much for being here. Sounds stressful. Good luck with the move. It's really stressful, and it's just time consuming as well. Like the actual time to sit down and go through all the paperwork on how to sell your house, and then like we wanted to take it off of one estate agent to put it on with another. We have to wait 2 weeks to be able to do that. It's just a mess. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. You're also going to be able to get a better price on the house if you're not in a chain. People know how infuriating chains are. Potentially, maybe. We'll see. The house that we did want to buy originally, that we should have moved into at the back end of last year, if everything had gone correctly, sold. They kind of, like, obviously we ended up having to break the chain, and then they put theirs back on the market, and it sold in February. For some reason, it popped back up on Rightmove last week. So maybe, because this house will be really good for us. It needs a lot of work, but we've seen it like 3 times. We like the place. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But obviously, the offer we made a year ago, the house has now been on the market for another year, and we'd be in a different position then. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm not counting any chickens or anything else like that. So we'll see how it will be. Will you have sufficient warehouse space at new PT to store your clobber temporarily? I mean, theoretically, yes. But realistically, it will probably come to this workshop. So when I sign up the lease for the new workshop, we'll basically have 3 months at half price rent on the new place. That 3 months is going to be spent getting the new place up to spec, ready for PT to move into, because it will need things like shelving racks building. It will need a office space kind of kitting out nicely, a bit of painting, decorating, all of my office stuff kind of moving, like tables and desks and PCs and all of that kind of stuff. The lease on this building I have to give 6 months notice for. So what we'll probably have is it for that first 3 months and then an additional 3 months as well, which then gives us so at the end of that first 3 months we would then move the whole of PT over there. And then just start working from the new space. But then it gives me 3 months to kind of like store stuff here when I don't need to be here every day. So that'll be where the house stuff probably goes in the meantime. So we'll probably just come here during that first 3 months and stay here until we have to move it. And if I have to get a storage unit out that way, or if I can put some of it at PT, maybe we'll do that. Like effectively we're going to be end up moving house twice and moving the business once. It is broadly what I'm resigned to at the moment. We just don't know how it's going to work. That was fate. I don't know, Liam. I don't know. Like, I am so disheartened with the whole process. I got to the point where I had a dream a few weeks ago that I literally decided to go and run to be an MP just to fix the whole housing thing. Like, that was going to be my aim, to become an MP to fix housing. And it was the weirdest dream ever. But yeah, I mean, that's not going to happen, let's be honest. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. That works, reduces one element of stress. Not an ideal situation overall, but grasp the silver lines that present, mate. Yeah, I mean, it's just a really awkward period. I mean, the original plan was to move house and live out there, commute backwards and forwards for a little bit, and then either in the house that we lost, there was space to put PT at home. Effectively, basically, there was a big barn. We could move stuff into there. When that all fell through, I kind of had the idea a couple of months ago, let's just flip it on its head. Let's move the business out there. We can stay with family if we need to be out there, and then we're not commuting every day. And then once we're out there, we're there. It's easier to go see properties, to go see houses, to speak with estate agents because we're in the area. Instead of having a 90-minute drive each way to see a single house, which we did on Monday. And then as soon as we got back on Monday, we got told someone to put an offer in and we just weren't ready for it. So that was a wasted trip. So instead of having like a 90-minute journey, we 20 minutes each way or something, or 10 minutes each way to go see properties. So the kind of idea is to just force ourselves to be out there. And it does bring up some other opportunities that we can do with the rest of the commercial space we're renting. So we can do other things, potentially depending. I mean, there's a couple of different units that we're looking at. So some more high street retail kind of spaces, some more similar to PT kind of spaces. So there's still lots to do, lots to go on. So yeah, so that's that. Good luck with everything. I hope it works out well in the end. We'll see. I mean, it's basically been a year now, and broadly, and it is what it is. Back in normal time zones now for me, so I can finally watch your stream. Nice. I'm glad you are back in a normal time zone, Eamon. Oh, another sub. This is alright. Thank you so much.
Tasty.
In a row and lighting up that pink rocket ship. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Also, since I do lurk on the PT site, I saw that the Wingtree electric pink switches. Have you had a chance to try them? What are your thoughts? They're really nice. I'll go grab some later on in the stream. I hadn't put up an announcement yet because it's going to get announced tomorrow. But yes, they are technically in stock and on sale. And we've got some other switches coming soon. So I kind of wanted to like roll it into one announcement. But I wouldn't put them on the website if I didn't like the switches. We've had a ton of switches that we've had in that I've then tried that they've just never been sold because I don't think they're good switches, and I don't want to sell switches that I wouldn't personally put in the board myself. So as a silent linear, I think they're really good, and plus I love the colour. The colour is apt. Let me go get some. Before we go any further, let me go get some. I'll show you them because they are really, really nice. Don't forget, we're giving away a desk mat for the best question in chat, so ask the questions now. Okay, I have the switches. I also have a bowl, which I've been meaning to take out of stock for a while. Yeah, and also the discount today. Let's see what the bots picked. Okay, so now today, during the stream, there is 15% off GMK keycaps. There you go. So you can have a look at that. I do need to take this out of stock because I've decided to pilfer it from the store. Let me see if I can find it. In before someone finds it faster than me and buys it just to annoy me. Why can I not find it? Found it. Okay. It's been staring at me on the shelf for the past few months as this, so I decided that I was going to have it yesterday because I like green and it's the green colorway, and yeah, so it is now mine because I do really like these. I wanted it to take pictures of switches in because we sell a lot of the same switches as Bowl himself does, and I really like that he takes pictures in his own bowls, so this is now mine. Just a bowl made of aluminium. I think we're going to get some more of these in stock. I'd like to do some more with bowl. So yeah, but these are the switches. Liam, I'll zoom in a touch. Yeah, so these are the switches. They're super silent, and they're just a glorious color as well. The shadow here, but you can see the pink and kind of like the reddish bottom. They're super smooth and super quiet. That's the mic. So yeah, they're really nice basically. Right, let's catch up with chat. The music's a bit loud. I can drop it down a touch. There you go. That should be dropped down a touch. If that's still too loud, if I do that, maybe that's better. Will the PT move affect the coffee side of the business at all? It will grow the coffee side of the business, depending on which unit we pick. If I go for the warehouse type unit, it will be the same. If I go for the unit that is more of a commercial space on a high street, I'm just going to open a coffee shop on the bottom floor because it's a three floor building, and the bottom floor is kind of split in half, and half of it is a tattoo parlor, and the other half would just become an entrance foyer for the first 3 months, but then it would become a coffee shop, like literally a takeaway coffee shop. That's the plan. But it depends on which unit we end up signing with. So yeah. I'm doing my finances while watching the stream, which somehow feels weirdly appropriate. Nice. What a surprise stream, and I'm at work. Sometimes that happens. Keyboard related question or not? Yeah, that's not your question. Fair. I mean, sometimes the best questions are non-keyboard related. Well, you see, I was thinking of getting some because I've just ordered a nice PT80 PCB for my first solder board. I think I packed and shipped that earlier on today. Just need a nice case for it, and then maybe I can get some GMK windbreaker. Well, you can get 15% off in-stock GMK keycaps, but only whilst the stream's up. As soon as the stream ends, that will go. Mr. Klein, thank you so much for 24 months of subs. That is 2 whole years. And he says, well, this is nice. Thanks for being a big part of the best 2 years I've had. Yeah, JPT and the PT community. Well, much love, dude. Much love. If you did become MP for housing, how would you solve the issues for the working class getting on the property ladder? I do not know enough about the housing market to say that, but I would probably bring back something like the Help to Buy scheme. I think I would probably push for more houses to be built, but in a more constructive way, as in less destruction of green areas and more constructive in terms of where those are placed and how resources are built. I would probably also want to do something about resources, because a lot of the small towns around where we want to move to have this problem of the towns get a new development, but they don't get any new schools, they don't get any new hospital or an increase to the size of the local hospital, they don't get any new doctor's surgeries. And I think if you are a housing developer and you're going to build houses, you also need to help build resources. So I think there is a little bit of overlap there as well. So I'd probably start to look at that. Have you got your lottery ticket for Friday? That could solve all your issues. I don't, but maybe I should. I do usually do the Euro Millions, usually just one ticket a week, but like usually on a Tuesday, weirdly. But yeah, 100 million quid or whatever it is could be quite useful. If that happened, I'd just refund every order we've ever had on the store and let everyone have their keyboard shit for free. Well, maybe not every order we've ever had. Maybe every order outstanding. I don't think that'd cover every order we've ever had, but maybe I just refund every outstanding group buy order if I win the Euro Millions. So if you've ordered, and you'd still get your thing at the end, and then we'd probably just price everything at like £1 and let people just have keyboard shit for basically free, because it wouldn't make a difference. Pilferer, absolutely, yeah. You can stamp me as a pilferer. I have pilfered a little green ball because it matches the PT sign basically. That colour is swishy. Yeah, it's nice. What's your favourite article of clothing, accessory, or everyday carry item that you love so much that you wish you'd purchased a second one in retrospect? Or do you never experience that impulse? Can I have two, Loopy? Can I have articles of clothing, and can I also have like everyday carry item? Can I have two? Because I do have two. The first one is this knife. Now, I have a couple of these. I was sort of involved in it in a way. These are, one is in brass and one is in titanium. This is titanium, I promise you. Come on, camera, focus. Camera, please. This is titanium, as you can see from the speckle. These are my everyday carry, basically pocket knife. Now, I need a knife so often here at the workshop that it's not even remotely amusing. Like, I carry this one in my pocket wherever I go, 24/7, and this one never leaves my desk. So for an everyday carry, it's just a basic Stanley blade, but it's just gravity fed. So it semi locks the blade there, and you can drop the blade back in. It's got a little hook on the back, and if you set it to that, you can open up the full thing, and if you set it to that, it's now locked, and now the blade can't come out. So you can carry it around locked in your pocket. You're never going to stab yourself. You can just flick that over, and then the blade comes out. And as I say, I have two. I have this one as well. This is the brass one. It's a little bit more chunky, a little bit more weighty, and you can see these blades are heavily used. Like, I use these all the time, and the brass has patinaed over time because I've had this a few years now, and it's just in my pocket wherever I go. I used it when we were doing I was helping out with an ultramarathon a couple of weeks ago. It came in really useful a couple of times then. I was in Marks and Spencer's the other week, and a guy had two suits taped together, and the assistant was trying to use a pair of left-handed scissors to get the tape off, and I just went, and it was done, and then put the blade away, and like, just felt like the man in the minute. So pocket knife I always find really useful. You never know when you're going to need it. You know, just getting stuff in and out of the car. I always have one on me, no matter where I am. It's either in my pocket or it's in a suit jacket pocket or wherever. Just the amount of times it's coming useful, unbelievable. So I have two of those. The other thing, I'll probably need to get a browser up to show you. I have this thing for really nice jackets. I like to wear a jacket rather than a coat. And there is a company that I like to buy basically from. Let me see if I can find the link. If anyone knows me, you have probably seen, like in real life, I've not looked into the browser, so I'm just trying to find it. So these are not cheap, but I do have a favorite one from them. So I have 4 of these farm jackets. These are not cheap, these are quite expensive, but you basically buy them on pre-order. They work very similar to the keyboard hobby. They make a certain amount of these each year and they sell them through a pre-order, and then they have a very small number left over that they put in stock at the end of the year. They do them in all sorts of colors, they do them in all sorts of styles, from like a pea coat to a racer jacket. I have a racer jacket in a reddish orange that I absolutely adore. They have all sorts of other jackets as well. They have this amazing website. It's in this kind of color as my jacket. And I also have this as well. This is a very light jacket in a fuchsia pink, and I have that in 2 sizes. I have it in an L, which fits nicely over a t-shirt, and have it in an XL, which fits great over at the top of a jumper, depending on what the weather's like. I actually posted this on Instagram the other day. I had a picture of me wearing it. If I have my phone, I'm pretty sure I can show you that picture. Let me find it. They are exceptionally well made.
Tasty.
This is whilst I was waiting at the train station the other day. There's me in the pink jacket. They are exceptionally well made. They are amazingly... Oh, I did not need to turn that off. They are amazingly good quality. The company is really good about returns. They do sleeve shortening, which as a short guy, I need the sleeves shortening often. They do all of that for free. I have, I also have, so I have the racer jacket, which is this one, but I have it in, it's not quite that bright orange. It's more of a reddish orange. And then I also have one of their other jackets. Let me see if we can find it, which is more of a winter jacket. Yeah, so it's a field jacket. So I have this field jacket as well, which I wear for walking the dog. It is incredibly waterproof. It's all waxed. It's lined. It's warm as anything, and even in like -4 weather, it works great. So those are the 2 things that I would say. A really good pocket knife, and the pocket knife I showed you is from a company called Piki. I will load that up as well. So I don't know if you can see it on here, but it is there. Let me find the website. Okay, this is the website, and this is the 9th. It's the G9. This is the one I have. The brass one is lovely, and they do a titanium one as well. I've not bothered. I do have a couple of these, but I don't bother with them. They do their own blades, but any Stanley blade fits. So yeah, those would be the 2 things that I would pick right now. I mean, that will probably change over time as we do different things. You don't like silent switches? That's cool. Not everyone does, but we've seen a lot of people asking for silent switches. So we did the Wectnafu, which are probably the best silent switch in my opinion on the market right now because of the triple shot stem, and then we've got these in as well, and these are they're just a beautiful color. Pinks, dusty rose pink and a light pink, and then a cream for the stem. They're just really nice. I just ended up buying some Gator mint smoothies. Didn't know you had silent linears. Oh, I mean, I think we've sold out of Gator mint smoothies, have we? I'm not sure. But we do have silent linears, so you can pick them up on the website too. Wectnafu and these. Just a thought, not that I want to give you guys lots of work. Is it possible to mark items as got on the store so I can see things new to me quickly? That would need some sort of custom application to be able to do that. I will add it to my to think about list, Zora, but I don't think that's easy to do because it's going to be account specific. I'll have a think about that. There might be, if there's an easy way to do it, I will do it. If it's a difficult way or it's going to cost money, I probably won't. But we'll see. Infiltration, thank you so much for a 3 stream streak. Average Joe, hey man, I hope you're doing well. P.S. I don't know if you remember asking about the Patagonia duffel bag in SPC a few weeks ago at our Invest and Colour. I went for the orange you suggested. It looks even better in the flesh. Thanks for pitching in with your opinion. No worries. I love bright colours. Like, if you know me in real life, when I outside of work, I wear like drab colours here at the workshop, but I like bright pinks and bright orangey red jackets and Like I was out with some friends, some of whom were watching on Friday night, and I wore like a pink shirt because I love bright colours. And then the next day I was kept wearing kind of like an orange and white vertical striped shirt. So yeah, anything bright colours, I adore it. I'm in for it. There's, you know, yeah. Questions. What's your favourite snack that no longer being made because you know you're older? Wow. Thanks. If I had to pick one thing to bring back, two things to bring back, one would be the dark chocolate bounty, because coconut and dark chocolate, better than milk chocolate. Unbelievable. They've not made them since 2019, I think. The other one would be Roundtree's Tutti Fruities, which were a hard candy cased sweet, and they've not made them for a long time. I don't know when they stopped being made, but I picked both of those. Silent switches, imagine them, same. Wex and Nafus are amazing. I agree. I have them in my TGO Jane that's just over here, and it's so quiet. I'm tempted to do a build with these because these are super so quiet as well. Hi Jay, Cherry Waves Live says, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Quick question, what coffee grinder would you recommend for beginners just starting out? Give me a budget and tell me if what you're using the grinder for. Are you using it for espresso or are you using it for pour over? Because my answer will be very different. And do you want an electric grinder? Do you want grind by weight? Do you want a hand grinder? Single dose grinder? Like what's your workflow look like? I need to know more about how you make coffee before I can tell you what grinder to look at. My Utemu ones break my keycap stems. Oh man, literally ordered like an hour ago from PT. Oh, if you've ordered an hour ago, I'll try and get them out today. If not, it'll be tomorrow. Yeah. Redundant to buy more. I mean, is it ever redundant to buy more? I don't think so. Replace the ones you bought with better ones. Yeah, absolutely. What are your predictions for Monaco Grand Prix this weekend? I was disappointed to hear about the power reductions. I think it makes sense to do the power reductions and to forego the active aero as well. I think Monaco is already a difficult track to overtake on. It's going to be more processional as it always is. People are only going to really overtake in the pits. My outlandish prediction is Ferrari get a podium. I think Max and Lewis will both be on the podium, is my prediction. I'm not going to say in what order because I'm not confident enough in it, but yeah, I think that's where I'd go for this week, for the Monaco Grand Prix. I literally cannot make my brain work out how to open that knife. This. So it's really simple. You've got two sides. One side pivots up. So this side pivots up from the pivot. This is the pivot point. It pivots up. That's what these ridges here are for. You pull the ridges up and you just tip it, and that's it. And then to get it back in, you tip it the other way and you lift that up and it drops into place. That's literally it. So when it's in one hand, it's very quick. And yeah, so you just kind of like flick it open, and then to close it, you just go like that. Just literally push these two apart. They just slide apart on like a. So you can even do it, just hold it upside down and it's out. Hold it the right way up, but it looks a little bit better if you flick it, I think. Anyway, that's it. Issue with knives that I leave one on my desk, usually to open your packages, but I end up using like fidget toys. Sames.
Tasty.
King Grinder P1, it's a hand grinder which will work your forearms, but that's good for you. And the burrs are good. Nice. What I've got in my pocket nowadays is a small glass bottle of Tabasco. Also, I'm considering getting a knife to come and carry. You carry Tabasco, Sam? You everyday carry a little bottle of Tabasco? That's hardcore. Like, I like a bit of spice, and Tabasco's okay. It's not my choice of hot sauce, but it's nice. Tabasco's really good on scrambled eggs. Tabasco and chili flakes on scrambled eggs are top tier. Hope you've not forgotten it's on you when you're going through airport security. Do you know what? Usually what I do is if I'm going on a flight, I take the titanium one and I take the blade out, and then I just buy some blades wherever I am. In some places, you can just pick up replacement blades in the airport before you leave. Like, seriously. I've been to a few like mobile phone hardware shops on my way out of an airport, and they've had them there. It just comes in really useful. Something to be said for Stanley and snap-off blades. Much like a traditional blade knife, I can't be faffed to sharpen them. Yeah, that's true. I do have some nice knives, but yeah, I don't sharpen them very often. In fact, I don't have it to hand. I did have another one to hand, but it's not here. Actually sharp on the daily beats theoretically sharper, but actually dull. Yes, it does. Yeah. Gemma, thank you so much for 28 months of sub, my dear. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You mentioned them in SPC with some wild coloured swatch. I remember now. Yeah, the pink jacket is just really nice. Yeah, I like bright colours. I genuinely like bright colours. I think my wife sometimes gets self-conscious because I'll be wearing like something quite flamboyant when we're together, which is quite fun. Wish they did a barber style shooting jacket with a hood. They do some jackets with hoods, but they're mostly just jackets, not coats. But yeah, I think there is a jacket with a hood. I can't remember which one it is now. I'm not a hood fan. Oh yeah, they do a field jacket with hood. Yeah, so they do the same as the tan jacket that I've got, but they do it with a hood. Hold on, I will show you. So like this is like a wax jacket, but with a hood. So I have this in like a tan color, but with no hood. But yeah, that's really nice. I mean, I'm not sure I'd have that one in the orange. I'd probably go for the navy blue or the green for that one. But I mean, the green's lovely. Look at that. Yeah, nice. I mean, that just looks like set for the weather. And look at the peak on the hood. Really nice. Yeah, maybe I do need one of those as well. But anyway, yeah, they do have them. They do have them. I'm surprised a blade like that is allowed in the UK. Usually gravity stuff is iffy at best. It's because it's under 3 inches and it's not a fixed blade. Stanley blades are allowed. Like there are a lot of Stanley knives that are built with a slider mechanism that locks open for carpet fitters and as a tool, and I have some of those as well. But just a little pocket knife is fine. It's not a fixed blade. I'm off for a 30-minute meeting. We'll duck back in if you're still building later. Nice. Bazooka with a question. He says, would you rather only ever drink Starbucks coffee forever versus every great cup of coffee you drink from now on you forget the experience? Oh man, no, good coffee with forgetting the experience is better than drinking Starbucks. Like Starbucks is just dirt water, right? So yeah, I figured as much. I wouldn't even mind with a cookie solution. Appreciate the consideration. Yeah, I like the only way that springs to mind to do it is with a custom cookie. Like for ease, so this is like being able to put a checkbox on items that you own from the store. We did used to have a wish list that the cost for it just went stupidly high, so we had to take that down. The only other way I can think of doing it is linking it to accounts, but Shopify limit accounts. So it would need a custom application to sit between the Shopify account and the store, and we'd probably have to host it on a separate page that once you were logged in, it would take you to. Incredible. I don't think we could do it on a product by product basis. So as you log into the website, you look at products, it shows you what you own or not. And the reason for that is because we have 3 different product pages for some products. So for example, I'm thinking GMK Windbreaker, we have the group buy version, which you might buy, and it might tick the group buy version. But then we have the pre-order version, and it won't tick that. And then we have the in-stock version, and it wouldn't tick that either because you have the group buy version. And they're 3 separate products. Like to link those together would be a bit more complex. Although that is something I've had some other ideas on that I need to write down. Actually, I had an idea at like 3 o'clock this morning about how to restructure the website so that we do it from a product perspective rather than necessarily an in-stock, pre-order and group buy perspective. We would actually do both, but yeah, you'd have like a landing page for, let's say, GMK Windbreaker, and it would tell you all about Windbreaker, and it would say the stage that we're currently in on like a carousel is group buy, and you can buy the group buy items here. And then when the group buy is done, the carousel would move off to the side. It would say, right, it's now in pre-order. Or if there's no pre-order, it would say, this is not yet in pre-order, it's in production, it will drop in stock at some point soon. And then the carousel would move off when we move to the next stage, and it would have it. So anyway, this is an idea I had at 3 o'clock this morning, and I'd forgotten about it until just now. I need to write that down and try and build that. So yeah. Tutti Fruities were in 2019 as well. Miss them dearly. Seems like 2019 got rid of so much good stuff. Finally got around to adding the SPC GO2 to my J series collection. So pleased with SW beige on it, dude. Beige is SWG beige is so good. Yeah. A Lewis win in red and I'll be happy. I think if he gets 1 win, I'd be really happy. I mean, I think he won a sprint race, or came on the podium in the sprint race, and he's had one other podium. But yeah, one win with Ferrari would just solidify his all-time legend status, because he would have a win with 3 different teams then. Yeah. With switches, I have at least a full storage box full of switches that need a keyboard home. I'll still buy more though. That'll never stop. Gravity knives are illegal in the UK. I'm not sure I'd take the risk of carrying that in public. I don't think this is legal in the UK. I don't think it is. But it basically just sits in my pocket. It's a pocket knife. It's no different to any other Stanley knife. Like, if I can carry a Stanley blade that I can lock on a slider mechanism, and I can't carry this, there's something wrong with the law. Never thought I'd get a clicky switch. Hate the click sound. Prefer the thud of a long pole, but I love tactile leaf. Lane switches have been great. Just wish there were more silent click switches available that feel like a lovely tactile. Yeah, I mean, I think Type R's almost fit into that for me as well, which we should have more of coming soon. But yeah, I think lanes are probably the only one in that sense, truly. But Type R's are close. When I hear about Ferrari, I have to think about the blue Playmobil car, the Luce. Yeah. What's the 65 you got here? This 65 is an upcoming board from Nuctros. This is the Craze 65 prototype. We built it on stream the other day, and it has got DCS panels on it. It is really, really nice. It sounds amazing, and I'm absolutely in love with it. I have to send this off to a Georgia YouTuber very soon. I don't want to send it off because I want to keep it on my desk. But yeah, it's really nice. For espresso with milk, flat white, for example, I don't mind either hand grinder or electric, something that is reasonably priced. If you are doing espresso at home for flat whites, if you are leaning more into medium roast rather than lighter roast, which I suspect you are if you're going for an espresso blend, Niche Zero is a really, really solid option, or a DF64, something like that. Crispy chili oil, scrambled eggs is the one. Yeah, I mean, that works too. If I'd have food on me as EDC, it most likely be some Cal's caviar. I'm not a huge caviar fan. Like, I'll eat it, but yeah. Depends on who it is you deal with and the purposes. Some officers I've met understand my blade is for work since I'm in retail. Some really want to be pains in the ass until they realise they don't want the paperwork. Like, I've never been stopped, but my car is full of tools constantly. There is always drills and saws and hammers and much more dangerous things in my car than a little pocket knife. So those are really nice jackets, but not very practical for someone in Texas. You'd be surprised, Durs. So let's go back to the website. I shouldn't really shill for other people when I should be shilling for PT. But if you get something like the Harrington Racer jacket, they do a non-lined version, which is the version that I have. So this is the jacket I have in pink. It's a lightweight worker's jacket. It's just a single layer. It's not lined on the inside. It is obscenely good quality. It is obscenely cool to wear. You feel like $1 million in it. It's incredibly good and nice. And do you know what? Even in hot weather, you don't feel it because it's waxed, so it breathes really nicely. And they do a yeah, so I mean, you can see they do the bright colours. I'm tempted by the blue. I have been really, really tempted with the blue. The yellow's cool too. Actually, I do really like the yellow. Yeah, okay, I really like the yellow. Yeah, okay, maybe I need to stop looking at this website. But they do the racer jacket. So I have it sort of this color. It's not quite as bright as this. It's one of their original prototype ones that I have that they did a sale for a while back. But they do this in a quilted version and an unlined version and a lined version. So you don't have to have the lining on the inside. You can see here there's the unlined version in this little video that's playing. Super lightweight, super comfortable, especially if you're in an AC building. You know, just look at that. Fantastic. And they support charity. Everything's on pre-order. I like the wording. Buy and pre-order and we'll reward your patience with 20% off. Fuck, that's good. I'm gonna steal that. Yeah. And they do trade-ins as well, so you can trade in older jackets and they get £10 to the Calm charity as well. They're just lovely things. They're just lovely things. If you are in the market for them, consider them. They ship worldwide. They're a company I aspire to be like. Infiltration says, Jay, on a success of a board, what feature do you think actually drove its success? And what feature do enthusiasts incorrectly credit? Can be any board you like. I'm not sure I understand the question. On a success of a board, so a board that sells successfully, what feature do you think actually drove its success, and what feature do enthusiasts incorrectly credit? I think a lot of boards sell based on price, and a lot of people want things to be cheap. And I get why. I understand why. I think what they don't realize is that just for a little bit more, like we have people say, do you have anything in the £75 range? And we're like, no. But if you can double that budget, we can offer you a board better than anything that's £75 on the market anywhere. And a lot of people don't see that, and they just go with something that they think is good enough and gives them 65% of the way to the top of the tree for £100. And that's fine. And I completely understand that. I get it. You know, budget is a massive thing. But I think if people just sometimes thought about it a little bit more, understood what they're buying a tool. So something like the Craze that's coming out is super cheap for what we do. And it's just amazing. Like, it doesn't leave my desk. I don't want to get rid of it. Like, people should just pick a little bit differently. I think a lot of people will then say, "Oh, it's X feature that's made it sell really well." So they'll say, "Oh, it's the fact that it's a hot swap PCB that's why it sold well," or they'll pick something else. "Oh, it's because it came with this aluminium plate or polypropylene plate or whatever it might be." People are very reticent to say that price is what drove them to that particular board, and you see that completely opposite at the other end of the spectrum. That people are happy to spend £800 on a keyboard when it's the high end and say, "Yeah, I bought that. It was £800," but look at the exclusivity level I got. Look at the quality I got.
Incredible.
Look how rare this is. And I think that helps too. Can I just say I'm happy you're doing an early stream? I literally kicked my feet up and turned off my work laptop. Nice. Sounds like a great idea, the stage thing. Please note that down. Yeah. I wake up most mornings about 3:30. I don't know why it's happened for the past couple of years. 3:30 until about 5 o'clock in the morning. I just wake up, can't sleep. Sometimes I read, sometimes I browse Instagram, you know, whatever people do in the middle of the night is the kind of thing I do. But I need to get better at writing down thoughts like that, because it just came to me and it's like a thought, and I think I can build it quite simply. I don't need to do much coding. I'll put it on my to-do list straight after the stream. Okay, now a question that really epitomizes my randomness. What's the favorite hat that you own? I try not to wear hats unless I have to. Like at the workshop, I don't like to put product in my hair, so I wear a hat at the workshop to stop my hands getting greasy and putting grease in my hair, because I do, like, my hair's quite long at the front, and I do run my fingers through my hair a lot to keep it out of my eyes. So I tend to wear a hat at the workshop to prevent me getting grease in my hair. In terms of my favorite hat that I own, I have a really, really cool glow-in-the-dark Deftones beanie hat, and it says Deftones across the front. That's probably my favourite hat, just because someone bought it for me. Yes, and the reminder as well, don't forget you can get 15% off any in-stock GMK only whilst the stream is live today. That's what the bot has picked. What upcoming group buys are you looking forward to? The big one for me that's coming up really, really soon in about a week is the Craze 65. I think it should do amazingly well. I think it's at a price point where anyone who's into keyboards should just buy one, because it will go with everything. Like, you cannot build it badly. It feels and sounds amazing. The price point is spot on. It comes with this amazing machined weight on the bottom. Look at that. Look how beautiful it is. It's got an amazing side profile. It sounds phenomenal. I mean, this is with DCS keycaps and some quite loud switches. So that's one that I'm really, really excited for. There's a couple of other higher end boards that are coming that I'm really, really excited for as well. Thank you for the greater on lanes. They're super nice. Nice. Jellymaster, thank you for the 40 stream streak. Somehow you managed to watch the stream 40 times in a row. And Voidmanger, thank you so much for 46 months of subs. Says greets from Germany, almost 4 years. Bank holiday here today, so I have time to watch. Nice. Yeah, I did see that a lot of Germany was closed today. I'm really struggling right now. My R58 gave out the other day, and I'm stuck waiting for the warranty claim to be acknowledged with no decent coffee in the meantime. Oh man, that sucks. I'm hopeful you get that sorted quite quickly. On successful boards, it's a narrowing funnel, so cheap appeals to people at the top of the funnel. Correct, yeah. Once you've had a number of those, you care about sound, tooling paths, whatever, but definitionally, you're further down the funnel where there are fewer people, aka less success. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I fundamentally don't disagree with that, yeah. See you later, Bulbs. Have a good meeting. For some reason, I'm having a rather weird issue. My Neo 70 on the right side, the right arrow key, page up and down aren't registering, despite the fact there's no bent pins and the rest of the keys do work. Check inside to make sure that, so when you put the switch into the hot swap socket, the pin goes in and there's two leaves. They can get bent out over time if you change the switches a lot, and sometimes you just need to make sure that they come back together so that when you put a switch in, it touches those two leaves. I don't have a hot swap socket to show you, but yeah, that's what you need to take a look at, I think. Do you have a Rolex? No, I'm not a fan of Rolexes. When I press slash on the ANSI layout, they register perfectly. What the hell? That sounds like, okay. In that case, it sounds more like a VIA or VIAL issue, potentially. Beeski says, are you going to meet up next Saturday, Jay? Yes, I am. Me and my wife will be attending. My wife has managed to move her work trips, which means she'll be able to come down with me. We'll be coming down and back the same day, so it's going to be a really, really long day for us. I think it's going to be 14 hours of driving, something like that. So yes, we are going. We're not going to have a vendor table or anything particularly because I'm only going to have the space in the car. So I'm probably going to bring 3 to 5 keyboards if Alvi lets me bring that many. We'll have some. There'll be a load of stickers and giveaway items as well. We'll do that, and we'll offer anyone who turns up on the day a discount as well. So yeah, that's what we'll do. Fedifio, hey, glad to see you. You'll see there. Nice, yeah. Weird because I've not done anything special in VIA. Okay, might be one for the Discord then. Which is your fave watch that you've owned? Fave watch I've owned. So this is one of my favorites. This was bought for me by my wife for our wedding. I wear it a lot. I've actually just changed the strap on it the other day to this more elasticated strap, just because in the workshop the rubber one that came with it was a little bit uncomfortable at times. So, but yeah, I don't know. I have a lot. I have the Omega Speedmaster Swatch watches. I have a load of those. Some of them were bought for me by friends, which just makes them ever so special. The pink one especially is a big favourite of mine, and then I have a really nice blue one that some friends bought, which I wear a lot as well. But I have some other watches which have historical importance. I have a really nice Bulova one, and it's a Bulova Accutron, so it uses a tuning fork instead of a quartz crystal inside it to keep time, which is really cool. And it was the first watch ever approved for timekeeping on the railroads in America because of its accuracy. I mean, its accuracy is terrible compared to watches of today, and certainly compared to quartz. But at the time, it was the best thing on the market, and it was the first one approved for railroad use. And it has railroad usage on the face and stuff like that, which is quite cool. I have a Brewmaster watch, which is basically designed to help you brew coffee, which is quite fun. It's got bright colours on it as well, which is nice because I'm a fan of bright colours. I just like watches, man. I just like watches. Have you heard of U-Boat? No. Is that a brand? 3 to 5 battle stations. I probably want to bring the Craze 65. I'd like to bring the Prototypist branded Tijar Koala, and there's a couple of other boards that we're going to stock soon that I'd like to bring as well. So I might bring 5 and then see if there's space for them. If Alvi tells me no, I'll just be good and behave. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Right. Okay. I think we've caught up with all of that. Time to do the whole shilling bit, because I need to do the shilling bit. Because we should do more of this. Let me tell you about group buys. Jim K. Ramoon is ending today, so if you want to pick this up, maybe pick it up. It says 2 days, but I think it's actually supposed to end today. So maybe you want to pick that up. And maybe take a look through our other group buys as well, because we've got some really nice ones, like SWG Rainbow Alert right now. This is really, really cool. Super fun set, and it's cheap as hell. It doesn't quite have full UK ISO, but it's close enough. And how much is that? It's £63 for the whole thing. All of those keys for 63 quid. Bargain. Double shot. almost as good as GMK. DCS Dolch is also in group buy as well. If you like Dolch layouts, you might want to pick that up because Dolch is always good. In terms of pre-orders, there have been some obliques dropped into pre-order. Once these are gone, these are gone. These will go up in price when they hit stock. They're about to ship from China. In fact, they're on the way from China already. Sorry, I don't know why I said they're about to ship. They're literally on the way from China. They will be in stock probably early next week because we're air shipping them over. And the in-stock ones will be increased in price to cover the cost of air shipping. So if you want to pick up an oblique with one of these amazing colorways, now is the time. The black on black on black is just absolutely divine. But my favorite is the green. I just think there's something about that green, so maybe I want to pick those up too. In stock products, we've dropped a lot in stock recently. Most recently, we dropped the Wing Tree, which are these switches here that I have. Silent linears, £3.50 for 10, nice and cheap. Maybe want to pick those up. Dolch Monochrome has dropped in stock, and you can get 15% off this right now. Like if you add this to cart, you will automatically get 15% off of it because there's 15% off all GMK. So if we go to view cart now, you will see that it has been reduced in price before VAT. So you get 15% off it. Jay is live streaming, 15% discount on in-stock GMK only whilst he's live. And that works for any GMK set in stock right now as well. So it's same for GMK BKRE and anything else. Only whilst we're live. GMK Hangul Bay, you can get 15% off that. Yeah, maybe look through some of our in-stock range. We'll also have 4 wraps stabs coming in stock very, very soon. They did leave China yesterday, so they should be here in the next couple of days as well. So watch out for that. What else do I need to tell you about? Just go buy some stuff. Just go buy some stuff. Yeah, like go buy some stuff off the website because we try and do a lot for people, and the more you buy from us, the more we can do. So that's the shill. Wow, I was really quick with the shill. Oh, and you can also buy some coffee from Jay's Roastery. Jay's Roastery is going to go through a full rebrand really, really soon because I'm changing this all up and we're going to do something completely different. We're going to rebrand, rename. We're going to be changing the names of the coffees. The blends will still be the same, and I'll provide like a little guide to what's changed to what. But there's a whole new website being built, and that's all going to change because I'm going to push the coffee harder and more this year. So maybe that's something you want to check out too. Cool. Shilling done, I think. Yubo, watch brand from when the chunky watch trend captured the market, stupidly thick. Yeah, I mean, I don't want something too thick. Like, I think this is as big as I want to go, because it does set off the wrist quite a bit as a semester, but that's probably kind of like the chunkiest I want to go. How is Push and Alert looking? It's doing okay, yeah. See recently quite a few sets with Big Ass Enter. Are there boards, PCBs supporting that? Voidmain Jet, for Big Ass Enter, all you need to do is build it ANSI, and then in VIA or QMK or Vial, turn off the backspace key. So you build it ANSI, and it sits in the same footprint as these yellow keys here, and you just turn off that switch in VIA, and it uses the same stabilizer position, the same switch for Enter, and the same switch here, exactly the same. So if I took those keys off, a BAE will fit. Let me see if I've got one to hand to show you that. I might have one to hand. So what you can do is you can just pop off of those. Now bear in mind that this is a GMK set. So that's the Big Ass Enter key. And then you'll see the stabilizer and ANSI Enter, and then the backspace. And that's it. We now have it as BAE. We do have the GMK BAE kits in stock on the website as well, which you can get 15% off during the stream because we have that discount code for it. They're a little bit more awkward to remove, but not terrible. Pull the switch out. Let me pop that back in. So yeah, that's how BAE works. So I hope that helps. ANSI based, yeah. So most, yeah. Use regular ANSI stabs, yeah. Any update on Manta replacement PCBs? They're on their way to us. As soon as we get them, anyone who's requested one will get them. Sci-fi forever, nice. Normally split backspace and pipe bottom row. I mean, you can do whatever you want with the rest of it. The key doesn't affect it, so yeah. They should make one button for a whole 60%. Sure. Big ass enter meme key, wild. There you go. Super big ass enter. I mean, if that's what you want to call it, right? You know, it works. But yeah, I mean, it's just another way of using. So all layouts use this shape. All layouts use this shape. It's either ANSI, which is where you split the key horizontally, or it's ISO, where you split the key vertically, and this becomes a 1U key here, and then you have the ISO shape there. It's all reusing that same footprint of BAE. It's just a couple of different ways to do it. And if you even have a rarer option to split enter, this becomes 2 switches. You have a 1U here and a 1.25U here, and then the 1.5U there. So you can even have 3 switches, which is what some really old group buys used to do. So yeah, but it all takes up the same footprint. It's all just BAE derivatives. So yeah. Big ass or big ass. I mean, I think that just depends on where you're from. Big ass would be more American. Big ass would be just the more UK pronunciation. So yeah, you can call it whichever you prefer. I think most people will be easy and comfortable with that. Okay. So far I think Loopy Lupo is winning on the free desk mat with the best question so far. But his question about what would I everyday carry or everyday piece of clothing be? So yeah, you're British, innit? Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Right, okay, so let's carry on with the stream. I've tried to do the shilling. Don't forget, 15% off anything in stock for GMK whilst I'm live. So that's a lot of stuff. Let's show you what that is. And it all applies automatically. You can go to shop in stock at the top, keycaps, and then GMK. So you can get 15% off Dolce Monochrome, BKRE, Vintage Keys, Hanglebait, MT New Mixlan, CYL Mixlan, Dual Shot Accent Kits, Blot, the child kits for Unobtainium Blue, Coniferous, I'm not sure if we have any bases left of that actually, Cherry Love, Orenji, Ada, MT New White on Black, Windbreaker, Mutagen, although I think that's sold out. Yeah, okay, the base kit's sold out. Yeah, we've just got the containment kit left there. Just Beachy, Dolce R5X, which is, R5 is amazing. All of these you can get 15% off. Oh, there's the BAE keys like we talked about. They come in Dolce colorways, beige colorways. I think white on black is the only one that's sold out, but you can get it in Dolce 9009, L9, and then black on white. So all of those are available. Extended 2048, 1520, great set. All of these, absolutely all of these, get 15% off whilst we're streaming. So maybe you want to pick something up. Look at it all. Just so much stuff. Let's hide those browsers. What is something you really want to talk about but no one ever asks you? I just like to talk, Gemma. I think I like the sound of my own voice too much. So that's asking me to have an even bigger ego than I already have. I already know where this is going. Also, that craze looks lovely. Don't tempt me. The craze is really good for the price. Like, I've been blown away by it. I think anyone who's into keyboards and needs a 65% just for anything, the craze just, I don't know, like it's you know, it's the Crush V2 in many ways. It's just a sign of how far keyboards have come since I got into the hobby 10 years ago, 12 years ago, longer, 15 years ago. It just shows how far the hobby's come as a board like that, because it is so good for the price point. It just knocks everything else, it just knocks itself out of the park. It's just a home run. I just hope that it sells as much as possible. With HE switches, it should be possible to identify which part of the BAE key was pressed. Theoretically, you could probably do that. Yes. you're going to have some movement. I mean, you'd probably find that easier if you didn't have the stabilizers in, but maybe you could probably even have functions depending on where you press the AE, because it would rock slightly. So if I hold it, it would rock slightly depending on where you press it. So yes. I have never tried that, but you could absolutely do it. Plot is absolutely lovely, by the way, for anyone on the fence. Plot is really nice. 15% off is quite generous. I mean, so I've just built this bot to do it. Basically, before I stream, I click a button, it picks a random discount on a random product or range of products, and then it updates the chat, so the command exclamation mark discount. It updates the website and creates the discount on the website, and then as soon as the stream ends, it turns it off. So yeah, it's just a bot that picks it all. Is there a base child kit available filter? No. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to do that unless we have a listing for every single kit. So rather than having one product page for a GMK project, we'd have to have a page for every single kit in a GMK thing, and that's not something I want to do. Flying in from the top rope with the meta questions. Maybe I need a backup 65%. Jack was 1 inch off being sick on my crush. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Does a BAE need a stabilizer? I mean, it's built to have one. You can see it's built to have one. I haven't tried it without, but I imagine it's going to feel relatively secure, because effectively you're still going to have 2 switches. So it's going to still have 2 points of contact. So it's going to be something like that. I imagine that's going to be relatively robust, especially if you've got like I mean, there's not much movement on these switches. If you have like a firm plate, like an aluminium plate, I suspect it's going to be quite robust. But if you have like a softer plate or a plateless build, maybe you want the stabilizer. I don't know. Something for you to play around with. My plate is firm. Nice. I need to push my questions to Shopify. I think everything you've suggested, Story, is doable, and there's probably an app out there that does it, but they'll probably want $50 a month to do it. So it would need to increase sales by at least the value of that to make it worthwhile to do. And I don't know. The filters are a difficult one, because the filters we have on the left hand side, so for example here, where you can select the product type, profile, and this is only because we're in the GMK section, it's quite limited right now. If you go to like the full in stock range, the filters are massive. There's a ton of filters. These just take time to work out. Like keyboard, you can filter by keyboard case material and stuff. And ANSI and ISO and hot swap and solder. The problem is these use a piece of metadata that's hidden on the product page. So if I show you a product, let me show you on a coming soon page. So this is the hold on, I just want to make sure I'm not sharing anything untoward. Is that it's not gonna let me? I don't think. I might have to just log back into the website. Hold on. I just need to be careful I'm not showing anything untoward here. Okay, I think that will work. So this is the product page for the upcoming masterpiece that we've created in the background. And you can see we have like the kits named here, and obviously the pricing is all blank because we haven't set that yet. But then we have all of these, which are custom meta fields that we've built. So we can fill these out to link to different things. So one of the cool things we can do, for example, is we can do group by end date and group by start date. So we can just edit these nice and easily. We can tag other products so that when we've got a group by that's closed, it will then show you the link to the pre-order and then ultimately to the in-stock one as well. So we have a group buy link, there will be an in-stock link, and there will be a pre-order link. There's a pre-order link, for example, here. We can also tag it with what's there, but it's only factual, it's not contextual. So one of the things that we can't do is we can't say, well, when this hits 0, take off one that says base kit. So we can have one that says base kit available, child kit 1 available, child kit 2 available, child kit 3 available. We can absolutely create those, but we can't create them contextually that they're then linked to the volume of these kits that we have available. So we need something that sits in between that enables us to do that. And I don't know how to build that. So that's one of the challenges with having a filter that allows you to say between child kits and base kits. The only way that we can do it is to say that, well, the first one is a base kit, so the first product is always the base kit, and then every other one is a child kit. Tell us if product 1 is variant 1, sorry, is available. Tick base kit yes. But the other thing is we often have sets that have 2 base kits. So this is why I never turned that on, because then when I was testing it, it would say that, well, the base kit's out of stock for this one if this base kit was out of stock. But it should show us in stock because this is here. So that's the only other way we can do it, and that doesn't really work. And then child kits have different names. So, you know, how do we pick up that preserving kit is always going to be a Spacebars kit, or a Spacebars kit might be called something else? You end up having to write a custom piece of metadata for each one rather than just having metadata for all of them. And you can see we've got a ton of metadata types here, and these change depending on what we select at the top here. So depending on what category we put it in, that changes the metadata that we might want to tag that with. For example, some on desk mats we have size and texture, keyboard case material, but then there's also like switch ones about what switch type they are and stuff like that. Some don't show up on here depending on which one they fall as part of. So there's a lot of complexity in what we do, and there's a lot of complexity in managing those filters. I wish we could do more with it, but we are kind of limited in what we can do. The other thing we can do is tags. So there are hidden tags that we can apply by Shopify. Now we could set up a rule that says if tag equals base kit, show on base kit filter. If and then have another piece of software that says if base kit or kit 1 equals 0, remove tag base kit. But again, it gets really complex, and a lot of those would have to be manually managed, which is just unfeasible. Like, there's so much data that we handle for this kind of stuff, it's just impossible. Let's catch up with chat. Jay, building something exciting on Sunday stream. Can you just tease a tip of what it looks like on stream today? I can't, unfortunately, Nick. It's already downstairs. I do have the plate and PCB I need to desolder. So we are going to be building, and we're going to be desoldering this because we're going to be rebuilding it. Now this is the PCB from a T9. As you can see, it's incredibly flexible PCB mount board. Which is very, very fragile as well. It's one of the most fragile PCBs we've ever had, I think. So this is what we're going to be building on stream on Sunday. Hold it the right way around. There is a theme to the board. It's been slopey and Cerakoted, and it looks phenomenal. Like, so good. The theme is Akira. And I will just leave it at that because it blew my mind when I opened it today. Pex has done some good work, but I'm very, very excited for that on Sunday. Hey Jay, how's it going? Hey Hamza, I'm doing well. I hope you are too. I assume metadata is stored with a product page, not inside some sort of sub item for the drop down. Yes, so we have a list of meta items, which can be meta objects, some of which you saw in that list, some of which are for other things entirely, such as which template something picks and how we get certain bits of data onto product pages and stuff like that. So yes, but there are meta items across the store, some of which are product based, some of which are collection based, some of which are page based, some of which are type of page based, some of which are customer based as well. So there's all of that plus tags. So yeah. I'd imagine I need a process to do that as stock changes, but then if you've got two basic, yeah, exactly right. You see the challenge. I think I've explained it thoroughly. I could conceive of something working on a database trigger that populates the relevant field depending on your cloud provider of choice. Yes, we could build something like that, but then it's something else to host and maintain, and it's something else that then has to link to the Shopify API, which they charge you for now. So if I was going to do it, I'd want to do it solely within Shopify as part of the back end or as an app that we developed to create. There is possibly something we can do. So one of the things I don't use very much right now is the inventory side of Shopify. Shopify has this whole inventory management software that's just terrible, and I built something better 5 or 6 years ago that we use as kind of like the master data point for this. If I stopped using that and converted everything back into the inventory, there might be something we could do clever with the inventory stuff, but it would still involve running custom reports and still need an app developing that sits on Shopify. There's a lot to do there. Yeah, I've no idea how open the Shopify database actually is. Yeah, you need to tap into the API, and you only have so many API calls. And because we run pretty much on the limit of the API calls just to get information to the accountant and just to do the processing that we do already. As soon as we start to tap into more, there's more of a cost to that as well. So yeah, whatever we do is a cost. Are there any recent products that excite you, Hamza? Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like a ton. Some of my favorite things are in stock right now. Where's Windbreaker gone? Windbreaker is amazing as a keycap set. I can't even find it now. It's somewhere around. Windbreaker, KKB Monet Psychedelic. I love this set. I'm just trying to find a board to put it on. It's just so cool. What else? The Wecht Nafu switches that are in stock right now. The Substance Decimats. I've been toying with the idea of getting myself the Mixlan one. My wife did make me buy it for her, so I've been toying with the idea of getting it for myself. I just think that with the Manta keyboard that I have could look really, really nice. I mean, just like I try not to stock crap stuff. But if you ever want to know what I own, all you need to do is go to Jay's Favorites, because anytime I buy something off the website, it appears in this list. There's me when I was significantly more rotund. Look, so whenever I buy anything off the website, it gets a tag put onto it, and it appears in this list. Now, some of the things that I do own are technically I bought for my wife, but you can see everything that I actually own, from Oblique keyboards to Navy's EC switches, to Windbreaker, to Just Beachy, to some Gateron switches. So everything I've ever bought from the website personally that I own is now in this collection, so you can see. And it only goes back like a year and a half. It's not forever. It's not like everything ever. It's like everything since I built this functionality on the website. But yes, and I guess Zizora, this is what you're asking me to do, but for every user, which I just don't have the, like, we'd have to have this collection for everyone. It's just not possible, because all the collections would be visible to everyone at that point. So yeah. PCB mount 2, yeah, it is PCB mount. Yes, is the T9. I'm really, really excited about building that on the weekend. Whoever's PCB that is, they're probably really glad they're not going to have to desolder it. Yeah, I imagine so. I'm very excited also, despite not knowing anything about it or being involved in it anyway. I mean, you own it, so I think that's being involved. So I remember you pulling out a whiteboard explaining the inventory thing a white back. Yeah, I may well have done. But inventory management is one of the hardest things for us to do. Just because we have to track everything across, grouped by potentially pre-order and then in stock, and each one has a different product page, and a group by you might have the key set and decimats and other things, but then in stock we separate those out so it's easy to search on filters. It's a whole thing. I feel that Jay likes bright colours. I do like bright colours. I swear at this point, Windbreaker is becoming my sleeper phrase. I hear it immediately. Look, there's always a good sale when I have a little keyboard money. Yeah. I mean, well, it's 15% off as long as you buy it whilst I'm streaming, so maybe you want to hop to that. We haven't even started the build yet, and we're an hour into the stream. So yeah, domes. Yeah, we have some domes. You can also buy, we have Dynapack in stock as well if you want to buy EC conversion kits. Dynapack is in stock pretty much constantly, so you can do that as well. Yeah, We have the Navy's EC switches. I think we still have some reads as well. Yeah, we have a ton of stuff. We have an absolute ton of stuff. Yeah, like it just beggars belief how much we have, really. And when I think about PT moving sites, like moving locations physically, and I think about moving all of that stock, I just want to cry inside because that's just so much work. So much work. Yeah, I think Liam, if you're gonna buy Windbreaker, now might be the time for you to do it. No pressure though, of course, no pressure. But bear in mind, it will turn off when the stream ends. Will the 15% discount on in-stock GMK? Oh my gosh, I have like a million emails right now. Why does everyone wait until I'm live to email me? Okay, so it looks like a lot of the stuff from China is arriving on Monday because the 4 app steps are arriving on Monday. I've just had the email to confirm that's when they'll be out for delivery. Oh man, so many emails. Oh, my VAT return is now due. Great, I need to pay that this afternoon. As someone who owns many key sets, what are your thoughts on mixing and matching? Fun, just don't feel the need. No, some boards I do have mix and match key sets on. Some where I'll take the modifiers from one set and the alphas from another set. That happens semi-frequently for my personal boards. Typically I don't have one to hand, but yeah, it happens. I think there used to be a much more wider trend for it before we had so many choices on the market, but I think a lot of people buy the alternate alphas from, say, a GMK set purely to put with a different set because it looks good. So yeah, I think it's fine. If you ever have to move, do let me know. I would be happy to fly out to the UK to help you out. I appreciate that, Eamon. I appreciate that. Thank you. We can pay handsomely in key sets. One of the things that we will be doing soon is Keyboards and Coffee is going to start back up next week. I'm going to put the announcement about that today, and then I'm going to do another Saturday Keyboards and Coffee relatively soon. I just need to work out what Saturday I'm free to do it, and then we're going to do another open day before we leave these premises. So as soon as I know when we're leaving these premises, when our last possible chance to do it is, we'll do another open day for that as well. So yeah, there's all that stuff to plan in, and additionally I do want to do an SPC pizza day where I will buy everyone pizza, and maybe people can come along and help me sort out my personal collection for sale, because I do need to sell a lot of my own personal collection of keyboards. So yeah, mixed Simba and Terra Below before kind of works. Nice. It's not a sensible financial decision to buy it given my money, but as soon as I can afford it, I'm going to buy it anyways. I have no issues with it not being on sale. I quite like giving PT more of my money, just when it makes financial sense. So I appreciate that. Thank you, dude. What's my favourite brewing technique for coffee? I am an espresso hound through and through, but I do like to do a nice pour over quite commonly. I tend to do it when I'm alone at the workshop more often. Usually it's a Chemex, because I like the Chemex process. I think you get a lot more aromatics out of the Chemex than you do if you're doing, say, an AeroPress. I mean, that's just my personal taste. I tend to get samples of beans in quite a lot, so I'll run like a lot of our lighter roasts through a Chemex just for fun more than anything. So if I'm doing something like that, a Chemex. If I want something like an espresso or a flat white, of course I go down like the espresso route, and I'll brew coffee through our ACS machine, which is a dual group commercial machine. It's not designed for home use, really. It's absolutely a commercial machine, and hopefully soon it will become a commercial machine in a commercial setting. We'll try and get that. So yeah, V60. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the V60. I think Chemex for me is because I like to be able to, if I'm doing a pour over, I like to be able to water it down, effectively make the pour over into an Americano, just to soften the tastes a little bit and to elevate any kind of like flavor compounds, so you can inhale them more. So I tend to do that, but so yeah, it'll be like a Chemex, and then make it into maybe a pint of coffee and have 2 or 3 coffees over the course of an hour, maybe something like that. But yes, I do. The other thing that happens quite a lot is I'll just pull a double shot of espresso, and because sometimes you just need coffee, right? I probably have somewhere between 6 and 10 espressos a day, double espressos a day, depending on what I'm doing. that's kind of the broad level of it. But I think I don't have one favorite brewing technique. If I could only have one technique for coffee going forwards, I'd just pick espresso, because it's much more, there's so much more you can do with it. In terms of like the number of drinks, you know, you can have a macchiato, or you can have a cortado, or you can do a flat white, or you can do a latte, you can do a cappuccino. You know, there's so many more different drinks you can do, especially if you like milk in a drink, which I tend to. So yeah, a magic. Yeah, I've done a lot of magics recently. That's a lot, dude. Like, you think I do a lot? Try asking Kalain how many he drinks. He drinks more for breakfast than I drink in a day. But yeah, I do get through a lot of coffee. Now I know why you laughed at my 2 singles. Sorry, Gemma. I apologise. Magic is a really good Australian drink. It's very coffee forward, but it is a milk-based drink as well. So it's ideal for just sitting down and having a quick drink. And it's basically a 1-to-1 coffee to steamed milk ratio. So it's like a smaller flat white, effectively. And yeah, I have a big thing for those right now. Magics. I probably do too many of them. I have blood in my caffeine stream sometimes. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Speaking of espresso machines, does anyone recommend Windoogie Data? I have never even seen that machine, True Blaze. Mr. Kalain suggests getting a decent, they're similarly priced, I think. I don't know what the Windoogie goes for, but the decent coffee machine, a friend of mine has one, and I adore it. If I was looking for a new home machine, and I didn't want a lever espresso machine, which is what I'm personally into, I would go for the decent, 100%. But I like a lever pull espresso. One, because it's my work, my physical work, that I put into the machine, dropping the lever. So my energy has gone into creating a cup of coffee, which I adore, and the looks. But also you get a much more rounder mouthfeel. There's more. It's more aerated as the coffee as it comes through the puck and the filter, and it feels a lot rounder and a lot creamier than a standard espresso shot, which is what I like. But the decent actually has a series of profiles, and there is one for lever machines, and it's not bad at all. It's pretty good at emulating that through a pump jump machine. So yeah, but decent, absolutely. Cortado for me when I can get it. Nice, not a bad choice. Yeah. Usually I'm a flat white, so flat white. Occasionally I do a latte if I want something bigger. A lot of Americanos, a lot of just pure espressos, and recently a lot of Magics as well, because we've got these tiny little cups that I do there. Here to maintain my streak before a meeting. Nice. They're about $4K US, I think. The lighter one is about 2,300. That's decent territory, and the decent I think has a tablet built in, and the decent is more consistent. Yeah, the decent coffee espresso machine has a tablet built in, and you can change so much about how you're extracting coffee. It has a whole raft of profiles that you can download and use to create coffees in different ways and emulate even different brands of machines. Because, for example, if you pull the same coffee on a Slayer machine, it's going to taste a little bit different to how it tastes if you pull it off, say, my ACS Vostok. And then there's other lever machines like Keys Van der West and Londinium. I have a Londinium too, which is a really nice machine. And they do have different mouthfeel and different flavour. There's just so much you can do with coffee. But yeah, decent is good. We haven't even started the Cloudline yet. I'm going to start it now, though. Just talking about a ton of stuff. I'll be honest, I know very little about coffee. I just have instant coffee. Come to the workshop, Liam. I will teach you the ways of caffeine and doing coffee. Jay would never yap too much. I don't believe you. I think I did nothing but talk at your birthday party, Mr. Reed. Right. Onto the Cloudline though. So we soldered it last week. I still need to clean the PCB up on Sunday, but we did solder it, and we now need to test that it works. Sounds like exactly what I wanted. See here. So we are going to plug the GST cable in, and then we're going to plug the keyboard in and give it a test and make sure everything works. Oh, hold on. Has that got a bent pin in there? That felt like it was not going in particularly cleanly, but it doesn't look like there's a bent pin, so I think we're okay. Okay, so you're going to hear the Windows disabled noise. I apologize in advance. And hopefully you'll hear the Windows reconnection noise. at least some of the keys are working. You should be able to see switch hitter now. So we are building an ANSI layout, and it's a TKL. Yep, so this should be correct. Let's test the keys, make sure everything works. So the keys that light up in the little screen that you can see, that's the keys that are working. If I press a key and it doesn't light up or it goes red, we have an issue that we need to take a look at. So all looking good so far. Oh, okay, so we've got a key there. That could be a layer key, but we'll see. Caps lock's working. Or I could have just missed something and not soldered it. That's the other thing that often happens. Okay, all working so far. Control Win Alt, spacebar, Alt Win Control. Arrow keys are all working. Delete end and page down, page up, home and insert, pause, scroll lock, and print screen all working as well. So the only key that isn't working is this one here. Let's have a look and see why that might be. And that is because I didn't solder it. So nice easy fix. So let's crack on with that now. So just disconnect that and reconnect that. Get rid of switch hitter, and then all we need to do is just solder the one key. Look, I've just missed those 2 pins. Just need to solder those. It should take a few seconds. These are KeyGeek Serra switches, Scopely, that the customer provided. I hate JST for being unsecure when I plug it in, but it lasts then longer than Molex, so c'est la vie. It's a necessary evil sometimes, right? Okay, so I don't know how we missed this on stream the other day, but we did just miss these 2 pins. Which we've now fully soldered. There we go. Cool. I don't think we need to retest that because it was one switch and everything else worked just fine. So we'll wait until it's built to retest it. Okay, there we go. Fully soldered. It's now time to take a look at the case and start to build the case up so that we can... I'm just going to move these out of the way. I did open this bag of switches. These are the pink switches which are in stock, but I just need to move them. Okay. Yes, so case time. So with the case, we've got a few things that we need to do. We need to install feet. We need to install the little gasket pressure pads for top mounting, and we also need to install the light bar, which will eventually plug into the PCB as well. So let's do that. And I think no one's asked a better question than Loopy Lupo yet, so unless anyone does, Mr. Loopy Lupo is going to win the free deathmatch. Here is our board. Let's flip it over and take it apart. Just going to grab a screw tray. And I think we're going to want that screwdriver. I think if I was going to buy a machine right now, True Blaze, based on what I've seen on the market, the decent would be where I'd be at. Sitting here hoping the inspiration fails the rest of the chat just for another hour. Well, some people are good at asking questions and some people are not good at asking questions, but I'm more than happy to answer anything. It's a great way of you guys telling me what you want me to talk about as well. More switches to go. Screws to go even, not switches. And then we can get this back to the customer hopefully tomorrow. Stozza says, when do I need to have enough monies for JO1 and JO3? Soon-ish is all I can say right now. I don't have any dates yet. I need to speak with Manu and Ball and figure out when we're going to go from a date perspective together. Okay, so we're going to take the top case off. We'll come back to that in a second. But before we go any further, I am just going to put the feet in on the bottom case because they do need to be done. So in this bag of goodies, we will need... We're not going to do the O-ring, we're going to do top mount for this board because it's got screw and stabilizer, so the O-ring won't work as well. But we do need the LED board for the top case. We do need the screws that will enable us to do that. We do need the gaskets that enable us to do that as well. And we also need the top mount things. We also need those screws. And we need the feet as well. So we're going to use the feet now on the bottom case. Hey Soren, good to see you. Did Decent release that new model they've shown? I may have dreamt something. Actually, do you know what? Mr. Blackbrook was showing me that the other day. I don't know if it's released yet or not, but they have been teasing it. I would have to have a look. I never liked the Cloudline feet. They are slightly too big for the board, so you have to do this thing where you have to kind of like push them into place and then go down the edge with a nail just to tuck them a little bit, just to keep them nice and flat and even. That looks good. How's it looking for the EC versions of the J boards? Were the modifications successful? Still in plan. I'm still waiting to... I need to chase Clever up actually. I'll try and speak to him this week about what changes are needed, and then we can get those implemented between Bowl and Josh and I. Okay, that one went in much cleaner. I'm good at asking questions about stock, and I'm good at sending annoying emails to PT. I don't think anyone sends us annoying emails. I'm always happy to chat about keyboards, whether that be via email or the Discord server or wherever really. Wherever's easy for you. With emails, I'm usually a day or two behind, so if you email me on a Monday, it might be the Wednesday or the Thursday before I get back to you, for example. But I'll always try and reply where I can. Okay, so now that the bottom case is done and ready, I'm just going to flip that over. We'll just drop the PCB and plate assembly onto that just for a moment. If I actually know what, do you know what we'll do before that? We will install the daughter board because we need to do some more disassembly for that. We need to take out this internal piece of brass. I'm just going to undo these screws. Gently pops that down to one side, and then we can install the daughter board and JST cable into its channel. I'll worry about the cable in a second. I'm just going to get the screws for this. Still want to get into EC. Seems it really going more mainstream. I've been reading about the complexities of PCBs and not digital. Yeah, I mean there's some really cool PCBs now that are both EC and MX compatible, and that's what I want to try and use for the JO1 and JO3 if we can. Jay, come on, hold the screen properly. So we will see what we can do, but that's the current aim. I'm just going to gently put that screw into place and then go diametrically opposed, which means diagonal, for the second one. And this is just so that I can make sure that the USB port is nice and centered, because there is a little bit of play on these, and then I'll go back in and tighten them up before I put the third and fourth screws in. And that way we know we've got the USB port perfectly centered in its slot. There we go. Now we can tuck that cable into this channel, just like so. And then we can re-drop this back into place. Hopefully get that flush. There we go, so it's not resting on the cable. The cable is just not trapped, it's kind of just in that channel nicely. Screw this back down. I'm just going to rest the PCB and plate in there for now. The PCB and plate is going to be attached to the top case when we get to that bit, so we're not going to reconnect to the JST connector just yet. Leave the screws away. That's spares, I believe. Just decided to take a break from harassing Jay about Gurikawa. I finally realised it doesn't make the shipping crates travel the sea any more quickly. Well, that'll come from Gurikawa will come from GMK, so it will be air shipped over. Okay, this does not want to open. Yeah, you can get 15% off GMK kits whilst I'm streaming live today. Oh, but actually, no, we do need those screws back. Where did you put them, Jay? I need 2 of them. Okay, so this is an LED board that lights up the thin LEDs just beneath this metal piece here. There's like a thin piece of plastic in there, and this is the diffuser for it. So this board is going to sit and basically be screwed in there. But what we need to do to make sure that the light doesn't bleed around it is we need to put a gasket that sits on top of this so that it holds the light inside, doesn't let the light bleed out across the case, and that is what this is for. So there's 2 here, we're only going to use one's a spare, and that's basically going to sit on top of the LED part just like so. And the reason why it doesn't have the it has a gap across the bottom is because the metal bar here will act as the light blocker for the bottom area. So what I want to try and do is get this to line up nice and neatly. And as squarely as possible. Just like so. So now that gasket's set on there, and then that will block the light going in those directions. And we can now screw that into position just on here. Any thoughts on DDS getting out of the keyboard manufacturing business? I mean, most of the big vendors stopped using DDS a while back just because of a change in quality and changing in pricing structure. So I think for them it's the right decision ultimately. I mean, they're a business, so they need to be making money, and the way the keyboard hobby has changed over the years, they're in a position now where they're not structured to generate that profit margin anymore, and that's just because the keyboard hobby has chased the bottom end of the market so much that you know, the race to the bottom's just kind of destroyed all the top end board pricing. So I fully understand why they're in that position. And I don't think I think you know, there'll always be manufacturers that are willing to take up that mantle, that position. So I'm not worried about that, to be honest. I think there'll always be another manufacturer that is happy to move into the space. Okay. and there's, you know, people have been using Hong2 for a while. People have been using other manufacturers as well. There's a couple of manufacturers in India that have been used for a few group buys, and Thailand. You know, so there's always new options coming out and new manufacturers that we're finding that can do the keyboard stuff. So yeah, I don't think that they will impact anything in terms of their dropping out, but I completely understand from a business perspective why they've done it. They had a lot of designers such as Kiko, who was behind the KL90 that we sold. You know, he owes them 30 or 40 grand. There's been a lot of big projects like that where they've just lost money. So, you know, how do you deal with that? Okay, brackets now for the top mount have been put into place. So the next job is to flip the plate and PCB over, drop this in. They don't stick in, they're just resting in. So they're basically like a gasket that drops the height of the PCB and plate, so it's not so high sitting. And what we're going to do is we're just going to tuck this cable through here first of all. This is for the LED board. And then we're going to line everything up just like so. Make sure that sits comfortably and correctly. Just need to tweak the layout of this cable, so I'm just going to use a screwdriver to gently pull it in the correct direction, I think. Don't get it trapped. There we go. Okay, now we've done that, we can pop these screws in, and we can screw the plate to the case. So we'll make sure we're going through the plate and through the little gasket pieces that we put in place. And making sure that's all screwing down nice and neatly. I'm not going to tighten these fully, and you'll see I'm going in diagonals. That's just to spread the load out on the case evenly. You don't want anything to warp or twist. So I'm just fastening these just finger tight for now, and I'll go through and put a quarter turn more in all of them once they're all in place. And this means we're just not getting any spots that are putting undue tension on the case or on the plate. So I'll just go through and tighten them into their final positions. There we go. And then we're just going to plug this JST cable in. And that's going to give us just going to try and tuck this underneath. This is going to give us our lights for the front. And you see that's all nice and neatly assembled. I might try and play around with this a little bit more to keep it laying a little bit flatter, but not just yet. Next job is to now bring the PCB and plate assembly in the top case over to the bottom case, connect the JST connector, and then we can close up the board and give it one final test, and then pop some keycaps on it. This is always a pain to show you guys on camera because it is hidden effectively underneath the board, and this is a really difficult board to get the JST connector to line up on as well. Always struggled with this on my personal build as well. Come on. The cable's just not quite long enough to get it to where I want it to be. Come on. Come on, why is this being such a pain today? There we go. Just want to make sure that's fully connected. Okay, and then we can lay the top case onto the bottom case, just like so. We can flip it over, and then it's time to screw it together for the final time. Need a Lego brick separator for the gasket? Sometimes, yeah. I do have one, literally, just here as well, I could have used. Say someone had a nice idea for a keycap set colorway. How difficult is doing the basic work as a designer? Assuming that they're not really going to be totally heartbroken if it fails to make them a queue, and the experience being the goal. So, I mean, the trick is to come up with a design that is inspiring enough to the community for it to feel worthwhile to a vendor to try and sell it. Because if it fails to hit MOQ, the vendor's got the cost of all the refunds, which is about 10% of the money that they take. So let's say you get 100 sales through one vendor and the MOQ is 150. The vendor's probably not going to buy, 50% extras to get it over the line, because that's a big investment from the vendor. But they then have, 100 lots of say £100 at 10%, so £1,000 to pay just in refunds. So it can become quite complex. So it really depends on the validity of the set, how well the community has shown interest, and getting to ensure you're getting good vendor buy-in. I meant the CAD work. I should have been clearer. Oh, from a CAD perspective, you can just download some of the Blender kits. The KRK has a lot of keyboards in there already, and has all the keycap models as well. And you just need to set up choice of colors and lighting scenes and stuff like that. So yeah, there are options out there. There's a lot of designer Discord servers as well that you can take a look at. So there we go, that is the keyboard now all assembled. Let's do one last test to make sure the PCB is fully working. And assuming it is, we can then put the customer's keycaps on here. Now the customer did send us the incorrect bottom row, so we'll only be able to put the normal keycaps on, but let's test it first of all to make sure everything's working. So let's load up switches one more time. And then we'll plug the board in and just double check that everything is working. Okay, so escape 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the F keys is working. All those are working, those are working, those are working, and arrow keys. Number is all working. That row is all working now. Caps lock works. Press caps lock twice, so turn it back off. Enter shift. Okay, every key is working, and you'll see we've got the LEDs working as well now. They look really, really cool. Just cycling through the colours of the rainbow there. So nice, that's all now working. Time to pop some keycaps on it and then see how she sounds. Apologies for Windows pings. Does anyone know if the K's TKL might be running again? I'm not sure, but there'll be some plus 84 extras at some point in the near future. Okay, so let's put the keycaps on. As I say, the customer did send us the wrong bottom row, so we can't put that on. But we'll try. Interestingly, there are other places than China that are trying to compete. Is it just CNC or anode too? Both. You can get CNC and anodizing done at most factories in Asia these days. So. Customers picked a good choice of keycaps for this. I think the orange really works with the blue. Super nice. I don't want to peel off anything that's going to cover the PVD parts. I'm going to let the customer do that themselves, so try and not cover those too much. Yes. Should I try and get GMK CYL bedraggled leopard release, Jay? Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Or maybe they did send us the right bottom row actually. Oh no, because we had to go 70, 1.5, 1.5. Yeah, okay. They sent me the full 6.25 in the bottom row, which this keyboard doesn't support. Yeah, that's right. You have to show me the design, Mr. Collane, and I can see what it looks like. Okay. Really, really good choice on the keycap set though. Sometimes I see some keycap set choice, I'm thinking, why didn't I think of that? There's a mark on this keycap. Fortunately, the orange is kind of like an orange mark on this keycap. I'm not sure if the customer's caught it with a pen or something. It was there when I picked it up, so it's not something I've done. Full-size caps lock. Shift key in. Okay, just about done. There we go. Okay, so we will have to skip the bottom row. Unfortunately, the customer did send us a 6.25U spacebar, which doesn't quite fit, but I think that looks really, really good. Need to use a more British animal. Bedraggled badger, maybe. PVD strikes me as the equivalent of black gloss in car interiors. Beautiful but impractical. I always fear taking the film off and the inevitable downstream consequences. I mean, it will scratch relatively easy. It's not particularly tough as a finish goes, but it does look nice. See you later, Alan. Thanks for watching. And here we go. This is the Cloudline for a customer. Just zoom out a touch so I can hold the board up. In serene blue with aluminium plate, Serra switches, and GMK coral. Looks so good. Not peeling off the tape for that PVD, give that experience to the customer. But it looks so good. Looks much more vibrant than renders. Yeah, it did come out quite nice. Should we see what the board sounds like? Let's pause the music for a second. Oh my god. Sounds so clean, just clean. Sounds so good. I would try and type public, but we don't have a bottom row. I'll let the customer do that. But it looks so good and it sounds so good. I hope the customer loves this. We will try and get it shipped back out to them tomorrow, I think. But that sounds so nice. I'm tempted to just grab a 7U spacebar just to see what the spacebar sounds like. This is Serica, but I just wanted the spacebar because it's kind of close in alpha color. Man, that sounds so good. I am always jealous of people when they have nicer boards than I do, and I think this customer is hopefully going to be very, very happy with that. I know I would be. I think it looks good, it looks beautiful. The serene blue and the choice of the keycaps just work so, so well. What a beautiful keyboard. You know? What a nice tool to sit on your desk. It's just... sometimes things in this hobby just make sense, and this is absolutely one of those things that just makes sense sometimes. But let me know what you think in chat, guys. Let me know whether you like this look or whether you think the key set's too much, not something you'd go for. Where would you sit on that front? Okay, I'm going to take this spacebar off now. Oh, I'm always nervous about pulling space bars off. Always makes me nervous. Right, okay. If there are no more questions for the stream, I think Loopy Lupo does win the prize. So well done, Loopy Lupo. We'll add a free desk mat to your next order. A very fun combo, but I wonder how much the board would match Prussian blue. I do have Prussian blue, but it's on another keyboard. It does look good on this colorway. I've seen a few people do it. I think Prussian Alert would be a little bit cleaner because of the silver base. I think Prussian Alert would look a little bit cleaner. If we look at the Prussian Alert set, which is in group buy right now, and is there, I just think that's going to look a little bit cleaner with the grey with the silver and the blue with the blue. I think that would look a little bit cleaner. And of course, if the customer wanted to go for that, that would be entirely their choice. But yeah, I mean, it's a really, really cool set. Is it on a blue board? I feel like there is a render of it on a blue board. There you go. So that's what it would look like, because that's very, very close to this color. Super clean, super nice. Yeah, I think that would be my choice over just Prussian blue. Prussian Alert is definitely what I would pick. So yeah. Okay, cool. Right, that means it is time for the end of the stream. So let's pick someone to raid. I don't know if anyone else is live from a keyboard perspective, but there might be someone who is doing something fun. So let's see who is live. And I want you to come along and be really, really nice to whoever we raid. Oh, someone's doing some 3D printing. Jedi Spidey. Let's go raid them. Let's be really nice to them. They've got a lot of 3D print stuff going on. So yeah, let's do that. But yes, thank you so much for watching, guys. I appreciate every single last one of you. And I will see you guys on stream on Sunday. So take care, and don't forget to use the discount. You've got about a minute left to use it before it will disable. I'll see you guys there. Take care.